Hey guys at osmvtxreviews.com. This is a very retro look back at the Samsung T-Mobile SGH R225m. This phone is actually one of the first and earliest T-Mobile handsets powered by Samsung to come out and kind of mark the second division of smaller mobile handsets. It's very, very early. It even has a grayscale monochrome display, though it is backlit. It's super, ancient in terms of today's standards, but it is still fairly small. Like, if we compare it with the T-Mobile Huawei Comet, which is one of the smallest Android handsets to ever come out, it's pretty much that footprint. So we're talking about a phone that is still, in today's standards, pretty small. Although it is a candy bar handset, we can still see the size. You have this little antenna that shows a lot of age. It is fairly lightweight, though. Now, this was a a dual band handset, but it is a SIM card GSM phone, so you could unlock it and potentially go over to other carriers. Design-wise, it had an LED indicator on top. The screen is backlit at blue, and it also the keyboard is also kind of backlit at blue, so it matches the tone of the display when turned on. Then the screen is a very small 1.8 inches, and it displays only a very large text when calling people and when doing basic phone book and calendar needs. Nothing too huge, nothing too unpredicted there, today's standards. It's just very interesting to see how far we've really gone in terms of technology. On the left-hand side, we did have a 2.5mm headphone jack for audio, and on the bottom we only had an up and down key. Again, this was backlit, very easy to press, very tactile. Two soft keys, send and end keys, a clear key, and the keypad. Now, I did find that the keypad was a little bit cramped, depending on how you held the phone like this. Going back to the keypad, it was a little bit small. My thumb had to reach a little bit far to actually go and actually press the buttons down here, but it still is easy to press. It's a T9 style keypad, of course. It's really tactile and really responsive, but again, a little bit small for my taste, but texting and dialing should be still fairly easy and fairly responsive. Other than that, you have the T-Mobile logo, and there's your speaker and space and vibration buttons, but there's actually no dedicated volume rocker, if you can see that, which is another surprising element. You had to go in and physically change the volume if you're in between a call to actually change it inside, and that is still one of the more, bad features that a lot of phones these days, very basic phones, are coming out with, like, still a few very basic flip phones and very basic to-go, pay-as-you-go phones today don't have volume rockers on them. That is one of the critiques that I always give out and say that you cannot do that. Now, of course, this was not like 3G. It was only 2G and lower, this handset, but it's going to be pretty slow, and you can only do text messaging and really calling people, but still is very basic. And putting it to today's standards, I think this telephone actually still has a market for itself, because, again, placing it next to a few phones and a few devices, here's your Huawei T-Mobile Comet. It's going to be a little bit thicker, this handset, of course. Battery life, though, is really strong because you're not doing anything else but calling people. And the user interface is really responsive. It's really easy to use. Here's the PSP. So as you can see, this phone is still really small in today's standards. So if you're somebody who only wants to call people, only want to use a backup emergency phone, the Samsung T-Mobile SGH 225m series may still be the one for you. It might still work really nicely. You can even unlock it and use it on AT&T if you're that type of person. So it's great prepaid, pay-as-you-go phone if you want to use something like that today. And this handset, if you go on eBay and do a quick search, it's only going to cost you $20. Like, buy it now. That is really cheap, really inexpensive. No camera, but great battery life. It's a piece of yesterday's technology and a really classical handset. I just wanted to take a look at really how far we've gone in terms of cell phone technology, from monochrome to full capacitive, touchscreen, multi-touch, high-resolution displays. But still, this is an excellent phone because it is a phone at its very core. Thanks for watching, and please check out our full review of this handset on our website at osandvtxreviews.com.